So let's begin with some shoulder rolls, coming up to the ears. Squeeze your blades and press down. And as you do it, try to lift your ribs and lean back. So your eye gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, exhaling. And we're going to rock forwards to the toes and then rock back into the heel. Rock forwards to the toes and then back into the heel. And just feeling the ground on your feet. Wobbling is optional on this one. And can you do 2 more? And final one. Alrighty, and then from there, if you can open your feet, soften your knees and let your tailbone hang down. Slide one hand down towards the knee. Allow your head to drop. If your heels are against a wall, imagine that the back of your head is against that wall. Because often doing a lot of desk work, the head will tend to come forwards. Lift your rib cage up. Adding some reach with the arm, and we're going to drop down and round. Just brushing the floor with the fingers. And then the other side. So we lean down and round. Inhaling as we reach. Exhaling as we drop. And you do 2 more. And final one. And then coming up onto the one leg, sweeping the knee in and out to test the balance. Try and get some height up through your head. And hold on to something if needed. And let's switch that over to the other side. Point your toes as you do it. A little bit of height in the leg. And last couple. Final one. Alrighty, and then from there, if you can come down to your back, and let's do some back mobilization, bringing our knees up, breathe in, and breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time? You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat, but actually, perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way? So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting in the way, you know, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to, you know, what you need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga, where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. You know, they take time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other side. We're going to tuck and then tap. Breathe out and tuck. Breathe in and tap. You can either stay with the version with your head on the floor for level 1 or level 2 coming up. You're balancing, lifting through your chest. Breathe out as you roll. Breathe in and lengthen. Touch your toes. Option, going to an extended leg. Warming up the core. And let's do 2 more. Final one. Alrighty, from there, can you turn over to all fours? Hands just slightly wider than the shoulder and knees set underneath the hips. And push one hand down and turn with the upper body, rotating and reaching our fingers up. Back down. So pushing the other hand into the ground. Lengthening up through the other arm. Breathing in. Stack your arms one above the other. Inhaling as you open the arms. Exhaling as you come down. Breathe in and push the ground away. Breathe out and lower. As you push through the ground with the hand, try to slide your shoulder blades down your back. So you're thinking about your posture. These are tight, the body weight will gravitate back. So notice, where does your body weight sit? More on each side. And final one. And then from here, if we can lift into the downward dog, or you can drop it into child pose. Breathe deeply, press your heels down. And let's take a walk with our feet to our hands and come down onto the back. Okay, so I'd like you to slide your fingertips into the curve of your lower back. Apply a little bit of pressure onto the hand as you tap and move in. Breathing out as you tap, breathing in as you move in. Level 2, we'll do it here from knees at 90 degrees. I'm going to add some footwork, flexing the feet, then pointing the toes quite firmly on the way out. Flex on the way in, point on the way out. Still keeping that good pressure on the hands. And we do 4 more. Last couple. So final one. And then from there, hands on top of the knees. And notice I'm now circling the knees around together, massaging the lower back against the ground. Then you reverse back in the opposite direction. Notice what's going on in your lower back muscles today. Just taking a moment to tune in, breathe. And then from here, we're going to park the hands underneath the back of the leg and curl ourselves up to seated, taking a yoga glute stretch. So right leg out, left leg in, and then bringing that leg across the body, hugging the knee tightly with the elbows. So we squeeze that in, and notice this front foot is flexed up, and then pushing down with our back hand. Can you get your forearm to touch the back of your body like this? Turning and looking behind the shoulder as we squeeze the knee tightly into the chest. Deep breath. And let's release. Can we give that a go on the other side? Bringing the knee in and across, squeezing and pushing down, flexing through the foot as we turn again. Notice what can you see behind you? Can you go a little bit further round? Push the ground away with that back hand. Deep breath. Alright, let's release. If you need to, you can hook a strap under your feet for this one as we roll down. And come back up. Straightening up through the back, breathing in as we lower. Out on the lift. So use the strap under your feet for level 1. Level 2, we'll do it hands free. 3rd level, adding some arms overhead. Breathing in on the way down. Breathing out on the lift. And we do 2 more. Final one. And then laying down and going into a sort of star shape. So reaching the fingers, pointing the toes, breathing deeply. Allow your belly to fill with air. Long exhale out through your mouth. And again, breathe into your belly. A long exhale out. Do that one more time. And we're going to repeat our single leg stretch, but this time adding an arm. Opposite arm reaching overhead. Can you get your thumb to touch the ground, pointing the toes? Or level 2 like this with the knees at 90 degrees, keeping active in the core. So on the last version we had the hands underneath the lower back. So focus on imprinting there, pointing the toes, flexing on the way in. Bring that footwork back in. Last couple. And you hug one knee to your chest, hug it in tightly as you now bring that knee across almost towards your armpit, at least heading in that direction as you lower the foot to the floor. Press your knee down. We're going to trail this back arm sort of diagonally, pressing the back shoulder down. applying pressure through the knee with the hand at the same time as pushing down with the shoulder. Close your eyes and breathe deeply into your belly. Inhaling through your nose. Imagine your body's gathering positive, healthy energy. Exhaling out any tension and worries. And let's release. We've got to go on the other side. So nudging the knee up, bringing the leg across, foot to the floor, trailing the arm behind, pressing the back shoulder down, breathing deeply, in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're breathing in positive, healthy energy, exhaling out any tension and worries. Release. We're going to park the hands just here underneath the back of the thigh and rock ourselves up, coming into a wide leg position now as we move into our yoga triangle pose. So feet open. Over here we're going to turn the leg out and on a bit of an angle over here, sliding the hand down the shin and lengthening up through our top arm, turning the eye gaze up and slightly getting the body weight towards a little toe edge. Head back, breathe. Softening into the knee, and let's release. Moving into warrior pose, lengthening that back leg away, softening the shoulders. And let's release. Turning out with the other foot and angling in at 45 over here, tucking under with the pelvis, sliding the hand along the shin, and lean and lengthen up with our top arm. Breathe. And softening into the knee and shifting into warrior pose. So we stack the shoulders above the hip. Gazing off down the middle finger in a warrior-like fashion. So from here we're going to bring our hands down. If you can meet me in a yoga downward dog, giving our calves a stretch, push the heel down on one side as we flex the toes on the other. And if the heels are nearly on the floor, try wriggling your feet a little further back and lift your bottom up in the air. We do 4 more. Relax your shoulders. Or each side. Moving our calves. Mobilize and stretch. Can we bring it down to our knees next? So having a sit on your feet. And if the knees are happy, we're going to lean back. If it's tricky, you can just work at sitting up on your legs. You could try doing a basic glute stretch, quad stretch. Now lift the bottom in the air, arch back. What feels doable. And then we're going to release. And we'll shake the hands, and I'd like you to turn your palms out that way. We're going to go into a forearm stretch where we've got fingers like this pointing towards the knees and the palms flat down. And we're just dropping back slightly. Now often the shoulders will sort of go into a hunched position here, particularly when it's tight, so soften your shoulders down. breathe deeply. And let's release. So moving into the quad stretch again, you can do either version where you lean back or basic quad. So fingertips pointing towards the toes, lifting the bottom, arching back, eye gaze up to the ceiling and pushing the ground away with the hands. Deep breath. Alright, so let's release. And from here we're going to move into our feet being flat on the floor. Moving into shoulder bridge, you might do it with a cushion or something, a little ball between your knees. And if you want to do the more advanced version, you could do it with a foam roller under your feet, or you're welcome to keep your feet flat on the ground. So I want you to begin this one with a little squeeze on the ball. Hello, Liv sister, I think. And then release, and we do it again. So squeeze and tuck your bottom under and push your hips up. And hold, and then roll down bone by bone. And let's do that again. So tuck your bottom under. As you hold at the top, drive your feet down into the ground. So using the force and resistance to help with the strengthening effect, and then lower. And let's do that again. Curling the spine up. We're mobilizing the back by rolling down bone by bone. So we're going to do one more mobility style where we do the tuck of the bottom under. Lift the hips up and then imprint the spine down one by one. On this next one, I want you to lift with that soft arch in your back. So you sort of come up more as one piece in your spine. Pausing at the top, I'm going to hold it there and add some lift with the arms, thumbs to the floor, keeping that lift as you circle the arms around. Coming down as one piece, so we keep that soft arch in the back, working more now at the stamina and the posture in the back. So let's re-lift, squeeze the ball. Push your feet down, hover, thumbs to the floor, circle, keeping your hips up, pushing your feet into the ground, and lower your body down. So great for working on our glute strength. Good squeeze from behind, good squeeze of the ball between the knees. Push your feet down, big circle with the arms. And we're going to do that through twice more. Breathe. A good squeeze of the ball in the pelvic floor, pushing down through the feet. Bring the thumbs to the ground and circle. And we do one more. Squeeze and lift, opening through the hips, right up through the hips, and circle, and lowering. Alrighty, let's rest off from there. If you park your ball one side, and then from here, if you can extend one leg up, pointing your toes. Can you get hold of your leg here by your calf? Straightening your leg, so you sort of push your leg into your hands, pointing the toes, and then keeping that leg there as you straighten the bottom leg. Level 2. Level 3, easing the leg closer to you and working, bringing your nose towards your knee. Deep breath. Let's release off. We give that a go on the other side, extending the legs so you point your toes. So to start with, just pushing your leg into your hands and a little bit of pull with your hands into your legs. So you can feel a bit of resistance there. Straightening that bottom leg down and pointing now through both sets of toes quite firmly. So reaching and pointing, using the nose towards the knee. Breathe. And relaxing up. Okay, good job. So we're going to rock up to seated, find some weights now. Now's a good time to have a drink. Moving into doing some waitress hands. So if you find some weights that test you a little bit, feel perhaps slightly uncomfortable when you do it, but doable to help build our strength. Ideally, we want to be doing some strength training a few times a week. Okay, so we're going to bring our elbows in and back so that the elbow sits just slightly behind the body, lifting up through the ribs. And as you open your hands, squeeze your elbows towards your waist. Ooh, cracking in the chest today. So let's do that again. Elongate your posture up through the crown of your head, adding some rise to tippy toes to work on our calf strength, and back down. Breathing in, reaching out, breathing out as we lower. So focus on your shoulder blades, pressing down, especially as you reach and lift, trying to keep that focus on the blades down. A tougher option, we're going to hold it here, and we're going to turn, move to the middle, and come back in. And let's do it again. Oh, lifts back. Now we extend. Oh, fallen over again. And we turn. Move to the center. Breathe. And let's do it again. And final one. Are we feeling this one? Alrighty, resting off. We're going to roll our shoulders so we go up to the ears, squeeze, press down. And then taking the feet just slightly wider than the hip, dropping into a squat, thinking about your posture. Adding a fold with the weight, bend, and then release. Coming down, 3, 2, 1. Next level, pressing your shoulders back, extending out and back in. Fold, extend, breathe. Feel it. Can we do 3 more? So, final one. And then I'd like you to find a stick, and we're going to use our stick to monitor our posture as we give our quads a stretch. Thank you. Okay, so popping the stick behind the back, and we catch hold of our foot, bring our knees together, heel squeezed in. And to push your hip bones forward and have your eye gaze up, the back of your head on the stick, focus on lengthening the back of your neck. Chin in as you push your head back. Keep lifted in your rib cage. Now next level, if you want to, add some lean. Try and get some lift in that back leg. So aiming that back leg more horizontal as you lean and test your balance. Let's shake a leg and give that a go on the other side. Welcome the wobble. There. Catching hold of the foot, knees together, and you get your heel towards your bottom. That's the head posture like. Pull your chin in, push the back of your head towards the stick, lifting into the ribs. Breathe. Adding some lean for our next level. And we get some height on that back leg. Breathe. And shake a leg into some lunges next. So we'll keep the stick for our lunges. Help us monitor posture. So nice big stride between the feet. Bringing one hand here by the neck and the other hand here into the curve of the lower back. Down, 1, down, 2, lift your rib cage, eye gaze up. And can you straighten your front leg? Fully bend. And flexed in your toes at the back to give your under your foot a bit of a stretch. Inhale, straightening your front leg. Exhaling as you come down, down, leaning back and pushing the back leg away to give the hips around the hip flexors a good old stretch. Let's do 2 more. Coming up and drop. Down, down, breathe. And last one. Leaning back, breathe. Holding this one a little bit longer. Alrighty, let's shake a leg, and we're going to turn and give that a go on the other side. One of the tougher things we'll do today. Nice big stride between the feet, bringing that bottom hand up into the curve of the lower back. And coming down, down, squaring up the hips. Breathe. Inhaling as we straighten our front leg. Exhaling as we come down, down, down. Breathe in, keeping the eye gaze up, lift the chest and the ribs, and drop. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, and breathe out. Pushing the back of the head into the stick and that top elbow up towards the ceiling. So give the back of the arm around the tricep a good stretch. So we come up. Final one, holding a little bit longer. Breathe. Alrighty, let's rest off and come down so that we've got one hand on the ground. We're going to turn, lengthen up. Now if you want to, you can come up onto your toes on that back foot, stretching around the side of the hip and the glute. Straighten out the back leg. Allow your hips to drop a little bit into it. Breathing deeply. Let's bring that hand down. We're going to take a walk through the middle of the legs and then turn, going over to the other side. The opposite hand to the floor, lengthening up with our top arm, breathing deeply. Bringing that top hand back and come and take a seat on the ground with the feet open. Pointing the toes, lifting up through the chest. And as we lean, I'm going to flex the foot. Can you get this arm sort of back by the ear? holding where it feels a bit uncomfortable for a few seconds, and then pointing the toes again. Lean. Inhale as we come up, pointing the toes. Exhaling as we leave, and you go a little bit further over with each one. Getting to that point where this other hand is now reaching the foot, then next level we can sweep that bottom arm away and pull on the foot with the other hand. Find your own level with it. Flexibility is definitely a journey. Let's do last couple. Breathe. Final one. Alrighty, so from here we're going to move over to a forearm plank. So if you can place your forearms down, making a fist like this with the knees back slightly. And we're going to rock forwards and back. Or we can do it like this on the toes. So rocking forwards, rocking back. And we want to try and keep the shoulders and the bottom on the same line. Breathe. Last couple. Final one. And then from there, we're going to open the knees and move into a groin stretch. So parking the knees open, coming back down like this onto the elbow. Notice my back is arched. So eye gaze up helps. Open your chest and then push your bottom back to your heels. Breathe. Let's release, coming back in and down onto our front. And we're going to open our knees like this in a sort of frog leg-like pose. So the heels are touched, the knees are open, and I'm feeling for my hip bones and pubic bone. I'm sure it feels slightly different for the guys, but I want you to focus in on pushing down through the pelvis as you hover a leg, almost like you're trying to push the ceiling away like this with a flat foot. And then lower, and then aim to do that on the other side so the pelvis is pushed down as you lift and then lower. Now if you've got a strong, happy, healthy back, you might try next level, which will really work your lower back muscles more, so that you float both legs off the ground for a few seconds and then come back down. So squeezing the buttocks but pushing the pelvis into the floor, the back well aligned, and then lower. Our third level, again, happy strong backs, adding some lift in the upper body, holding for a few seconds, and then coming down. So find your own level with it, holding at the top for 3, and do that 4 more times. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, lowering. We do 3 more. Pressing the heels together, we're doing that double leg version. So final one. Good for our glute and hip strength. We're now going to park one foot in like this, so we stretch our quads, pushing the pubic bone into the floor. Next level, adding a lift in the thigh bone, but keeping the hip down. So the thigh bone is hovered, the hips are weighted down evenly. Okay, can we give that a go on the other side? So if you catch hold of your foot and you close the heel towards your bottom, knees together, pressing forwards and down through the pelvis. Adding a hover with the thigh, the next level. Breathe. And let's release off. Alrighty, can you find your stick again? And we're going to use the stick to give our neck and shoulders a stretch. Have another drink. Nearly there. Okay, so back on our feet. Cozy down there. We're going to walk our hands towards each other. Can you bring your elbow up? Pull like you're trying to pull the stick apart, and then let your head turn. Now, can you keep the stick against your tailbone and a bit of body weight through your heels? Looking down over the shoulder. Breathe in deeply. And let's release. Can you walk your hands a little bit closer still? Grip and pull. Turn the head. Keep pulling as you look down. Breathe. And release. Can you walk your hands closer still? Grip and pull. Turn. Okay, let's release. We're going to swap the hands around. Walk your hands towards each other. Grip, pull, and turn the head. Down and breathe. Let's release. Notice, how does this side compare to the other side? Pull your belly button muscle in and let your tailbone hang down as you turn. Breathe. And just doing one more. Walking your hands together in a good pull. Gripping. Working on the grip strength as well with these as you turn your head. Breathe. And release. I'm going to move the stick. Hit the ceiling. I'm going to move the stick behind like this. So thumbs together. And if you roll your shoulders back, as you lift your stick behind you, try to keep your chest lifted and pull your shoulders back. And then release. And do it again. So thumbs touch together as you lift. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chin and your chest. And release. And you rise onto tiptoes as well. So breathing in, lengthening up, 2, 3, and then lower. Can you get right up onto your tippy toes? Working on calf strength as well. Squeeze the ankle bones towards each other. And to help the stability in the ankles, I'll visualize them holding a little football between the ankles. So we squeeze the ankles in. And we do 3 more. Welcome in the wobble. And last couple. And final one. Alrighty, let's rest off. So you can come down onto your backs. I'd like you to just let your hands rest on top of your belly. Close your eyes. Feel for the breath inside your belly. And just taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up and doing something positive for your mobility in your joints, your core, your stamina, strength, emotional and psychological well-being. practice of 4, 5, 6 breaths. Take us into a deeper state of relaxation. Breathing in for 4 through the nose. Pausing and holding the breath for the count of 5. And then exhaling through the mouth for 6. In through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4. Pause for 5. Exhale for 6. In for 4. Hold for 5. Exhale for 6. In for 4. Holding for 5. Exhale for 6. One more round. In for 4. Pausing for 5. And exhaling for 6. Allow your breathing to settle back into its natural rhythm. Using this little exercise to remind ourselves that we can practice this deep breathing exercise at any point throughout our day. We're out and about, at work, in the car, in a meeting. Having that daily practice helps us to home in on our feelings of relaxation and well-being. Allow your attention to mentally drift. Bring your attention back to the breathing inside of your belly, that sort of balloon-like feeling, expanding and emptying. We focus in on that balloon-like feeling, expanding and emptying. I'd like you to give your balloon a colour. Imagine your balloon is hovering just above your body. Inside your balloon, I'd like you to make an image of perhaps something that's been holding you back, getting in the way. Visualizing the image inside your balloon. Imagine your balloon is hovering now up above the building. It's drifting up into the night sky. Drifting away, growing smaller and smaller. Imagine the balloons have got so high now, they're all meeting up together and drifting off into the night sky, disappearing off into the distance. And bringing your attention back down to your body, we're going to straighten the legs and we're going to give our toes a little circle around. So you're circling from the ankle, you can open your eyes. And then reverse and circle back in the opposite direction. And let's come up to seated for stretch for our necks. So if you can pop your feet around in front and allow your head to drop one way, gently pulling down. Deep breath. And let's release. Over on the other side. I hope that's made a difference in getting you moving, getting you stretched today. We can have a little chat and a check-in.